Alright, how's it going, guys? Duck here. Today I got a review of the Kraken clone. The reason why I'm doing this review actually is I have seen these things everywhere. Nobody has done a review or talked about the materials that are actually used in this guy. They kind of just show themselves flipping and they don't talk about actually using the knife, and it's kind of annoying to me. And I like to use my knives, and I'm sure lots of other people do too. So yeah, we're gonna talk about how actually using and flipping this is. Alright, so like I said, this is a clone. You can pick this guy up from AliExpress or Wish. It's only 40 bucks. I'm gonna get into the price right away, because that changes the whole opinion of this knife. You know, clones are not the best thing to buy. Lots of people like to buy actual OE manufacturer knives and stuff like that, like a real Squid Industries product. So I understand that people don't like clones. However, this thing is just too good for me not to talk about it and not to use. I bought two of them. That's why we have two different handle colors. The colors that this comes in are orange, blue, red, and silver. It runs on bearings and bushings. And then it also has aluminum handles, a 440A stainless steel blade, which is great. Alright, so out of the box, this guy comes with zero tap. Or excuse me, yeah, zero tap, and then minimal play once you tune this. It's honestly great for 40 bucks. I don't think you can get a better knife for this price point, especially in the balisong community. You can't get away from CCCs or clones or anything like that. They're bound to be made, and this just happens to be the best one that I've ever had or seen. Yeah, so let's talk about how it flips. This guy flips great. It's great for chaplains, rollovers, ricochets. Fanning's okay. It's not as good as a real Kraken, but it is still really good for how much this guy is. Yeah, it's a great flipper. I beat the crap out of the one that I have. This is the one that I keep in my collection, and here's the one I beat. So when you buy this guy, it comes with a sheath, it comes with a Torx bit driver, and it comes with replacement bushings, bearings, or not bearings, excuse me, washers, and pivots. So that's great, because either the pivots are going to break or the washers aren't going to be correct. The bearings, or not the bearings, excuse me, the bushings I've had no problems with. They're phenomenal. It's great once you lube everything, oil it, it's great. Alright, so here's the one that I've beat. I flipped this thing for about three months, and it's developed a lot of tap, but that's fine. I flipped this thing over concrete, tile, I've thrown it at trees. I've done almost everything with this knife, which is completely fine. But yeah, so here's the tap. Here's the play, which is honestly not that much for how much I beat this thing. Here's some scratches and chips and whatnot. Yeah, it's really good. The blade's held up great. It works great for pierce cutting, tanto. The blade's still sharp. I've sharpened it maybe once, and I've stropped it, and it's been great since. So no complaint there for the steel. Steel's 440 AC. Aluminum handle, which are channel, like I said, unreal, especially for $40. A real Kraken's gonna come in at about $230 and around $300 if you're looking at the secondary market. That's the only reason I don't have one currently, because I don't want to pay around 300 for it. I will pay the actual MSRP for it, but I'm not going to pay the inflated price. So I picked up one of these clones, or two of them, but they're great. So good. All right, let's show the swing. Solid swing for what it is. It's oh yeah, it runs on Zen pins. Forgot to mention that, but not a big deal. Let's see here. Let's get some size comparisons in here. So we have the Kershaw Lucha. That's going to be the first knife that we talk about compared to this knife. They are roughly the same size. The Kraken clone is going to be a lot smaller. Not a lot, just a tiny bit smaller, so it's not a big deal. It's around the real size of a Kraken. The only two differences that there are these are going to be more rounded on a real Kraken, and then these grooves are going to be thinner, or not thinner, excuse me, less deep. But that's fine because that helps for chokers and whatnot. So back to this comparison really quick. I do want to make the point that the spine is crowned all the way through to the Tanto, which drops, which is great. Because with this guy, this is not ground. It's really annoying. This thing cuts into your hand sometimes, and you think you almost cut your hand because you have so much weight coming behind it. If you're looking to get a knife and you're just looking to get into flipping, I can't recommend getting one of these more. The thing comes with either Bowie, Tanto, or a trainer blade. The trainer's also phenomenal. It's I unfortunately don't have one here. I have flipped my buddies though, and that's a great flipper as well for 40 bucks. You can't go wrong with it. You're buying 3 of these before you even get to like close to this price. So you can break one of these in half and still have another knife compared to this. But for a beginner, I wouldn't recommend this over this. This is just so much nicer. I don't want to crap on this too much because I do love this knife. But yeah, so let's get the Squiddy B out here just for another size comparison. Really quickly, we'll also throw out the heavy hitter. And then the Amazon trainer, which is like a staple in the community for beginner knives. So, yep, there's just some comparisons. It's a decently big knife. Super light though, extremely light. But yeah, all right, let's do. Let's talk about some cons really quick, because there's one real or two, I guess. The fact that it is a clone. I don't like supporting clone companies. I don't like supporting knockoffs unless I can't get the knife. Like, I have a Spyderco small fly clone because I can't get the real knife. These are really hard for me to find, and they are $500 to $600. So don't really want to spend that much. But this knife for 40 bucks and a clone that works phenomenal, flips great, performs great. I've cut it through boxes and packages with this thing all the time, and it's held up great. I can't recommend it enough. If you're just getting into flipping, this is what I would recommend to get, because it's not too heavy, it's got great balance, and the price is just unreal. So that, if you don't know if you want to get into flipping, this is what I recommend to get. So yeah, overall I'm going to give this guy a 7, or no, I'm going to give it an 8, because there's no latch, which is fine because it's just mainly a flipper, but you can create your own. There's a good amount of play that develops, which is fine. Then there's also the materials aren't the greatest, and there's no pocket clip. I do like a pocket clip, but for flipping, you don't really want one. So that's not an issue. But for flipping, I give this guy a 9 for the price. For under $100, I give this guy a 9 for the price. For comparing to real knives, like Ryeworks and BRS's and Homs and any high-end knife, this is just going to be a low 7 from me. It is great. It's fun to flip. It's a good beginner knife. That's where I would recommend going if you're trying to get a knife. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Nobody's done this review, so I had to do one. I hope people find this useful and help people to choose a good beginner knife, because that's what this is. This is nothing else. Because I wouldn't want to flip a real Kraken, and I don't think you would too if you're just starting. So, all right, thanks for stopping by. You guys have a good one.